Dear explorers, good afternoon. It's really a pleasure to be back in DLD and try to explain what is the way we see Europe should embrace the AI revolution. What is peculiar about the European AI model? I try to say this year is going to be the wow moment for Europe when it comes to AI. A bit of a provocation, because normally the narrative is that what comes from our continent is not that wow when it comes to AI. There are other places which are more wow. I disagree. I think you have many of the protagonists of AI in DLD, today, tomorrow, in workshops. They are great people, great companies. And I would like to start with the first wow moment, if I succeed. This is destination Earth. So imagine you are in a spaceship and you have a control panel of planet Earth, and you are in charge of planet Earth. This is the digital twin of our planet Earth. We teamed up with hundreds of scientific organizations. We teamed up with the European Space Agency, HumanSat, the Mid-Term Forecast Organization, to actually build the platform that runs every day the digital twin of the Earth. So this platform is already live and has already two operational twins. The first one is the digital twin of the climate. So what you can do is to take a region of the world, take a city, take it in 10 years from now, and make your own hypothesis, +1 degree, +1.5. Then you actually run the simulation with actual weather data, and you get what is the outcome. The other digital twin is the digital twin of extreme weather events. So you actually take a place, and actually you are able to zoom in at the level of 150 meters what is going to happen. As you know, the world is more and more plagued by extreme weather events. This system has been now operationally running every day since the last few months, and it has been used for predicting the path of Hurricane Melissa in the Caribbean a few months ago. And actually, we were precise with an anticipation of 2 weeks. So 2 weeks in advance, the local authorities knew exactly where the hurricane was going to hit. This is a combination of many, many scientists working together. It's the combination of very powerful AI algorithms, and it runs on the fastest, one of the fastest machines in the world, which are our supercomputers in Finland, supercomputers in Germany, in Spain, in Italy. So this is, in a way, it's been quite an investment, because it's 500 million euros of investment in terms of the algorithm, plus the machine time, plus the investment on everything. And it's a gift to our society. Of course, it's a very important tool for companies to plan construction, but it's also for all the agencies that actually need to know what is going on in terms of climate or weather models. It runs every day, you don't know, but the new weather prediction that you see every day, they use this model. So I wanted to start my speech with this, to explain, we just heard that people need to trust AI, need to understand whether it makes a difference. I think this makes a difference. Makes a difference in terms of understanding where we go as a planet, makes a difference in planning and emergencies. Now, new modules will come in, modules about handling, very complicated emergencies, such as, man-made or natural disasters, such as earthquakes. You know, when there's an emergency about earthquake, it's extremely difficult to actually coordinate all the help, because everybody wants to help, everybody's there, and then it becomes extremely complex. So having a digital twin of the emergency helps very much to optimize things. So we will continue to add digital twins to Destination Earth and make sure that actually we deliver in terms of AI for better society. And this is the ingenuity of European scientists, European startups, European infrastructure that are running this thing. And this, I come to I hope, the second wow moment, where we are continuing to believe in a model which we call AI factories. So most of the investments in AI data centers in the world are private investment by one company that uses this for its own benefit. So this is very vertically organized. The AI factory, the European AI factory concept is completely different. These are investments which are done by the European Union, by member states, but also by private companies. They all come together, and actually our part, the public part, is given back to startups. There are already 4 startups that became unicorn in using the compute capacity we are given for free to them. And some of the startups that are today here are using our supercomputers. Why is a wow year 26? Because we will open up now 15 AI factories, 2 in Germany, 1 in Jülich and 1 in Frankfurt, and 16 all around Europe. And this will be the biggest computing grid, AI public computing grid of the world. And then in 2 weeks from now, we open up the tender for the gigafactories. These will be much bigger AI factories, which will be a combination, again, of public investment and private investment. We run a call of expression of interest. We were expecting 20, 30 proposals from investment funds for companies. We got 74. We got commitment for 230 billion investments in Europe. So not only Europe is in the run, but Europe also is capable to attract investment. And the whole idea is to create this infrastructure with a public-private partnership in order to create these ecosystems of trust. So what we will do, continue to roll out these AI factories throughout the year, and then start building the gigafactories. And I think what is very important is that you might say, what is special about it? All the world is doing this. Well, it is special because this is real. I mean, you can go in Jülich and touch the supercomputer, which is one of the fastest of the world, and actually the greenest on the world. Because another element is that Europe is rich of green and reliable energy. And this combination of reliable energy source and computing will be one or the other asset. The other asset will be the combination of private-public investments. You know that the price for computing is going up to a point that a startup that wants to be serious in AI has a gigantic wall in front, which is how I'm going to pay for compute time. Who's going to pay? Or take an hospital, take a public administration, how they are going to pay to use AI. So the only solution is to use the AI which is provided by third parties. So this is a little bit the European answer. I mean, create these infrastructures, which of course they must rest on solid business plan, but also they will benefit from public investments. The other, I hope, wow moment in 26 is that we are going to implement what we said in terms of applying AI to each individual sector. So I hope next year, not only to show Destination Earth running, but the other 4 flagships that are starting as we speak. First one, we call them advancing screening centers. So the problem that we all have is that local hospitals are disappearing because actually the cost, the fixed cost to run a local hospital are going higher and higher. And I mean, the public finance cannot sustain them. The private side of insurances, they are very reluctant to enter into a massive screening campaign because it costs money. Now, this is perverse because the less you spend in screening, the more the risk that you have to cure very complicated illnesses, which are, of course, horrible for the patient, but also horrible in terms of cost. But this is the way it is. And we believe that the combination of doctors and AI is the winning combination when it comes to screening, especially looking at certain types of cancer screening. That's why we are launching what we call the advanced screening centers. So we will work with European hospitals. We are starting to actually get them, because the whole idea is to work with an ecosystem of hospitals and medical centers and tell them, you are running the show, so we will provide you compute time, we will provide that, but you are actually in the drive to design the medical protocols by which doctors and AI will work together. And of course, we will start with something which is a bit simpler, which is screening healthy population. I mean, and the more we go on, the more, of course, we hope to have AI in the cycle of healthcare. The other flagship that we will now implement this year is the so-called industrial foundational model. So the idea being that every single industry, small or big, in Europe should embrace AI, possibly, I mean, without giving the intellectual property, the data they own, the assets they own to someone else. So the idea is that working together to train algorithms, but at the same time, each one then having its own data well protected. We want to do it, and we are doing it, in cooperation with industry. I mean, we want to work together with European industry because we probably have the best industrial landscape of the world, the traditional one. And this means that we can actually make sure that this concept of federating value chains, federating, I mean, supply chain, and working together, but at the same time, each one keeping data well guarded, so intellectual property well guarded, can actually work. The third, I hope, wow moment will be when we will enter now into the operational phase of what we call the ambition cities. Ambition cities are cities in Europe that decide to launch autonomous drive in its full. I mean, if we wait that all of Europe will pass a legislation that autonomous drive will be everywhere, we probably have to wait 50 DLD conferences. So some of you will be there in 50 years from now. I think I'm getting a bit more impatient. So we have reversed the problem. So we have said, okay, fine. Which cities are ready to embrace the thing? And then we are telling to the central administration, if the city is ready, and the city, this is the only requirement that we has to come with an ecosystem project about autonomous drive, has to involve the startups, has to involve the people, has to involve a little bit the whole idea. And of course, investments from all over the world are welcome as long as they create an ecosystem. We have already 2 large European cities that said, yes, I go. The mayor of Turin, which is a car city, as you know, has presented its application to be one of the first ambition cities. And there are 3 cities in Germany and in other parts of Europe that will follow. So this is a way, in a way, all what I'm trying to say, involve the hospitals, involve the cities, involve industry, involve the researchers for something like Destination Earth, that we try to create this European AI model. So a model that delivers, either delivers values to people investing it or to the society, but it's actually based on the idea that there should be an ecosystem. It's based also on the idea that clearly we are doing something since also, as far as I am concerned, spending, public money, this creates an externality that makes sense. Will it succeed? I think this is an example of things that can actually happen. And I hope that next year I will be able, if I am invited, to show you what we can do in medical diagnosis, what we can do in industrial AI and autonomous drive. The point being that we need, as Europeans, also a little bit to change the narrative. Because I see more and more that whatever comes from Europe is always, but you should look somewhere else. I don't think so. So I'm convinced that when it comes to the fundamentals, we have the best talents, we have the best ingenuity, and also the best resources to do things. So, wow moment for Europe in AI in 26, and I hope this is becoming true. Many thanks for your attention.